Cattle, or cows and bulls, are large domesticated cloven-hooved herbivores. They are a prominent modern member of the subfamily Bovini, are the most widespread species of the genus Bos, and are most commonly classified collectively as Bos taurus. Cattle are commonly raised as livestock for meat. Another product of cattle is their dung, which can be used to create manure or fuel. In some regions, such as parts of India, cattle have significant religious meaning. Cattle, mostly small breeds such as the miniature zebu, are also kept as pets. Around 10,500 years ago, taurine cattle were domesticated from as few as 80 progenitors in central Anatolia, the Levant and western Iran. According to the Food and Agriculture Organization, there are approximately 1.5 billion cattle in the world as of 2018. In 2009, cattle became one of the first livestock animals to have a fully mapped genome. Cattle were originally identified as three separate species: Bos taurus, the European or taurine cattle; Bos indicus, the Indocene or zebu; and the extinct Bos primigenius, the aurochs. The aurochs is ancestral to both zebu and taurine cattle. These have been reclassified as one species, Bos taurus, with three subspecies. Complicating the matter is the ability of cattle to interbreed with other closely related species. Hybrid individuals and even breeds exist, not only between taurine cattle and zebu, but also between one or both of these and some other members of the genus Bos, yaks, Banteng, and Gor. Hybrids such as the Beefalo breed can even occur between taurine cattle and either species of bison, leading some authors to consider them part of the genus Bos. As well, the hybrid origin of some types may not be obvious. For example, genetic testing of the dwarf Lulu breed, the only taurine type cattle in Nepal, found them to be a mix of taurine cattle, zebu, and yak. However, cattle cannot be successfully hybridized with more distantly related bovines such as water buffalo or African buffalo. The aurochs originally ranged throughout Europe, North Africa, and much of Asia. In historical times, its range became restricted to Europe, and the last known individual died in Mazovia, Poland, in about 1627. Breeders have attempted to recreate cattle of similar appearance to aurochs by crossing traditional types of domesticated cattle, creating the Heck cattle breed. Cattle did not originate as the term for bovine animals. It was borrowed from Anglo-Norman cattle, itself from medieval Latin capital, principal sum of money. Capital, itself derived in turn from Latin caput, head. Cattle originally meant movable personal property, especially livestock of any kind, as opposed to real property. The word cow came via Anglo-Saxon ku, from common Indo-European gus equals, a bovine animal. Compare Persian, gav, Sanskrit, go, Welsh, butch. The plural sai became ki or ki in Middle English, and an additional plural ending was often added, giving kine, kian, but also kees, kung and others. This is the origin of the now archaic English plural, kine. The Scots language singular is ku or ku, and the plural is kai. In older English sources such as the King James Version of the Bible, cattle refers to livestock, as opposed to deer, which refers to wildlife. Quote, wild cattle may refer to feral cattle or to undomesticated species of the genus Bos. Today, when used without any other qualifier, the modern meaning of cattle is usually restricted to domesticated bovines. In general, the same words are used in different parts of the world, but with minor differences in the definitions. The terminology described here contrasts the differences in definition between the United Kingdom and other British-influenced parts of the world such as Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland and the United States. Cattle can only be used in the plural and not in the singular. It is a plurale tantum. Thus one may refer to three cattle, or some cattle, but not one cattle. One head of cattle is a valid though periphrastic way to refer to one animal of indeterminate or unknown age and sex. Otherwise, no universally used single-word singular form of cattle exists in modern English, other than the sex and age-specific terms such as cow. Bull, steer and heifer. Historically, ox was not a sex-specific term for adult cattle, but generally this is now used only for working cattle, especially adult castrated males. The term is also incorporated into the names of other species, such as the musk ox and grunting ox, and is used in some areas to describe certain cattle products such as ox hide and oxtail. Cow is in general use as a singular for the collective cattle. The word cow is easy to use when a singular is needed and the sex is unknown or irrelevant. When there is a cow in the road, for example. Further, any herd of fully mature cattle in or near a pasture is statistically likely to consist mostly of cows, so the term is probably accurate even in